Tonight, something is happening that we were told would never happen again. Right now, as we speak, ICE agents are deploying across major American cities. In Chicago alone, between 100 and 200 agents are preparing for what could be the largest coordinated enforcement action in recent history. But here's what's fascinating, and this is the part they won't tell you on the other networks. This isn't just about immigration. This is about a fundamental question. Does the United States have the right to decide who enters its territory? And if we do, what does it mean that open borders? But just like there's a solution for securing our nation, there is a solution for securing your home's energy. While ICE agents are working to stop the drain on our national resources, this revolutionary device is stopping the drain on your wallet. Not just about saving money. It's about taking control. Just plug it in and watch your electricity bills plummet. Visit don'twastepower.com for 50% off during our special promotion. Take back control of your energy costs, just like Trump is taking back control of our borders. Okay, so it's only been 24 hours, and Donald Trump has already taken these massive steps to secure the border, declaring a national border emergency, ending birthright citizenship, ending catch and release, reinstating remain in Mexico, designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, deploying active troops to the southern border, ending CBP-1 app. And just a few hours ago, the border czar, who's actually going to do his job, unlike Kamala Harris, he went on with CNN. Let's listen to what he had to say.
That in the bleeding, right? We can keep bailing the water out of the boat, but we got to plug those holes. So right now, it's all about securing this nation, securing the border, and we'll address that in the coming days. But right now, we're going to shut that border down and get a hold of this problem. What's happening on our border is the biggest national security vulnerability I've seen in my career, and I've got over 35 years doing this. We need to take action to secure the border, and we'll discuss the other policies down the road. But right now, it's all about securing the border and saving lives. Look,
securing the border and saving lives. Meanwhile, we have Antifa in Portland. I apologize for the quality of this video at the moment, but what it is on screen is Antifa in Portland, Oregon, gathered overnight, late on January 20th, to attack the ICE Gov facility that they regularly attacked and set on fire before. Antifa member Elizabeth Richter, who Andy knows sued, promoted the violent direct action. So I know it's difficult to make out, but that is what Antifa already attacking ICE facilities. And we have Scott Jennings on CNN. He is one of the singular voices of sanity over there, dropping 3 common sense reasons why the rumored ICE raids across the nation is the right move.
Want this? Well, first of all, if you came into the country illegally, by definition, you are a criminal of some kind. A. B, it's been made pretty clear the priority is to find people who are here who have otherwise criminal records on top of that, have committed violent crimes. And see, this is what the American people voted for. They want this situation controlled. It's out of control. You've had millions of people flow into the country, including a lot of violent people. If they succeed right out of the gate in catching those folks, yes, this is what the bureaucracy is for, though, is to help sort this out. But you can't let, in my opinion, the perfect be the enemy of the good. And the good right here is to get immigration crisis under control in this country. Well,
and that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing. Remember this, though. Here is disgraced Representative Angie Craig of Minnesota nodding and applauding as Tim Walz amplifies the comment, comparing ICE raids to terrorism in America. This was back in August of 2024.
The week after I was elected in 2006, that giant ICE raid happened in Worthington. You know, I drove out to Worthington as the congressman-elect, went into the basement of the Catholic Church where Father Grixis was, who asked me to look around at all the children crying. He said, "This is what terrorism looks like in America today." And he was very concerned.
See, the left sees Donald Trump upholding the law as terrorism. Here we have President Trump just 8 hours ago discussing what we can expect with these ICE raids in major cities as he was signing the executive order.
Beyond that, thank you, sir. This next executive order is about protecting America from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that and it implicates other executive powers as well.
Yeah.
President Trump, if cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Mr. President,
And that was actually
sure that Maduro will accept Venezuelans.
Say it.
How will you make sure that Maduro will accept Venezuelans?
Well, we're going to see on Venezuela. We're looking at Venezuela very strongly. It's a country I know very well for a lot of reasons, and it's, boy, it was a great country 20 years ago, and now it's a mess, right?
Sir, can we expect ICE raids starting tomorrow in major cities?
What does that mean?
Can we expect ICE raids in major cities?
I don't want to say when, but it's going to happen. Has to happen. Oh, we're not going to have a country left.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign. And Mexico probably doesn't want that. But we have to do what's right. They're killing our people. They're killing 250, 300,000 American people a year. Not 100, like has been reported for 15 years. It's probably 300,000.
This is an executive.
Mexico doesn't want that. How are you going to deal with this?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
Sir, this is an executive order entitled Protecting the American People Against Invasion, which again deals with the southern border and the unprecedented admission of illegal aliens across the southern border. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Epic moments occurring. And we also have this. The fact that people in Colorado are warning immigrants about ICE raid locations is disgusting. Omar Rodriguez writes, he lives in Denver. He's hoping and praying they get rid of all these leeches in our system. Millions of dollars redirected from public resources to help illegals. And he posts this image of what appears to be updates. If you stay in Aurora, be careful. They're sending out alerts regarding these ICE raids. Let's take a trip back real quick. This was when Tom Homan was in Chicago, and he issued a warning.
And all that starts on January 21st. Yeah! And we're going to start right here in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah! If your Chicago mayor doesn't want to help, he can step aside. But if he impedes us, if he knowingly harbors and conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him.
The days of foreign nations dumping their criminals into America are over. I will stop the invasion. I will shut down deadly sanctuary cities, and we will carry out the largest deportation operation because we have no choice in the history of our country.
Oh, it's all going down, folks. It's going down. Just be aware of the visuals that they're going to try to present when these ICE raids hit the news feeds. Here is Tom Homan again.
Most victims
expect workplace raids.
Yes. I wouldn't call it raid. They're based on investigation. But why do I say that? Number one reason, where do we find most victims of forced labor? Worksite operations. The Biden administration said they're concerned about trafficking, to include forced labor trafficking, but they stopped worksite enforcement operations. 3.5 decades, that's where we find a lot of victims of forced trafficking.
How soon should we expect the ramping up of workplace roundups?
We'll have to see.
Are we talking around Inauguration Day, even on Inauguration Day?
I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to forecast what we're doing and where we're doing it, but you can count on worksite enforcement coming back.
Worksite enforcement is coming back. Okay. It's going to happen, Trump. on ICE raids in major cities. Tom Stedham, he reports he says he hopes the ICE raids are live stream on X and that ICE cuffs and drags out every single teacher or administrator who tries to resist the raids. Libs of TikTok posting that 6 hours ago, Colorado school districts are making plans to resist ICE agents if they show up at schools.
Staff to use the as President Trump takes office. School districts around the state are preparing for what they'll do if immigration officers show up at their schools.
I've met with all leaders.
Denver Public Schools Superintendent Alex Marrero is telling principals if a government official shows up at one of their schools, don't let them in. He's instructed staff to use the intercom and find out what agency they're with, why they're there, and if they have a warrant. If they have a warrant, ask for a copy. If they don't, tell them to leave. Aurora Public Schools has a similar policy, though its policy says if a federal immigration officer says it's an emergency, the staffer should comply and then call the district's legal office. Large-scale ICE raids have happened at workplaces in the state before, but as far as we know, not at schools. In December 2006, Republican President George W. Bush was in office when ICE raided the Swift meatpacking plant in Greeley. They arrested 262 people, separating families. In June 2011, when Democrat Barack Obama was president, it happened again, on a smaller scale in Fort Morgan. 11 workers at Wildcat Dairy were arrested after an ICE raid there. Fort Morgan Superintendent Rob Sanders says the district has talked to its principals about the possibility of school raids and issued the sharpest pushback against them that we've seen, saying he's hopeful the 2011 precedents of staying away from sensitive areas will be adhered to, and if that is not the case, we will be asking for correct paperwork, such as a legal subpoena and not simply an ICE warrant. We will not allow anyone on campus without the proper and legal paperwork. The Greeley-Evans School District, where that raid in '06 happened, told us tonight that a valid judicial warrant would be needed to get into a school and make an arrest. They made no mention of any specific plan centered around ICE officers, though.
Okay, so get those judicial warrants ready and make sure you got your paperwork because it's coming. School in Linwood, Washington, reportedly sent a message to families inviting them to a meeting to teach them how to prepare for immigration raids and how to deal with ICE agents ahead of Trump's presidency. This is the message. Learn how to prepare for immigration raids and your individual rights when approached, detained, or incarcerated by police or immigration agents. Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Meanwhile, India is working with the Trump administration to take back 18,000 Indian illegals. That's according to Bloomberg. Weather alert. Please be advised, ice is forecast in the following areas this week. They're expected, but not limited to Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Denver. Paul Malit says, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink, apparently. So goodbye. Enjoy the coming ice raids. Make sure you're ready for jail if you get in their way. Tom Homan dropping truth bombs. Everyone needs to hear, get ready, America. Major immigration raids are coming, and it's about time. Unlike the previous administration, which turned a blind eye to the chaos at our border, Trump is ready. And we have this, too. ICE raids coming? No, simply close the taxpayer-funded hotel free-for-alls and scoop them up at their request. Yeah. New York first, please. Really? And sadly, we have to report that a Border Patrol agent was shot and killed by an illegal immigrant in Vermont. According to WCAX3, the suspect is also deceased. But the cringe is in full effect in Chicago. Activists are currently protesting the incoming ICE raids, but they can protest all they want. It's not going to stop what is coming. And we also have this. The Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard, Linda Fagan, has been terminated over her failure to address border security and her excessive focus on DEI. Bye-bye. Local police in blue cities should be sent out to monitor ICE raids to enforce the law and ensure civil rights are not violated. Chicago police said they won't assist in Donald Trump's ICE mass deportation raids. They're saying, know your rights and make a plan. Well, if they're here illegally, I mean, come on. What's these people? Elon Musk had this to say 8 hours ago: undermining the U.S. military and border security to spend money on racist, sexist DEI nonsense is no longer acceptable. And he was quote tweeting the dismissal of Admiral Linda Fagan, who oversaw the Coast Guard. Ice raids are in effect today. Is everyone ready for the ice storm blizzard across the Gulf of America? America is back. And check this out. This is remarkable. Michael Yon, call sign Big Honey. A state of emergency. Defund the United Nations. Watch this.
We are at Fort. Today is the 20th of January, 2025. We just watched the inauguration in which President Trump declared a state of emergency on our southern border. We're being invaded. The United States is being invaded. We're being destroyed, right? The main people in charge of the invasion are these guys right here. The organization, the International Organization for Migration, right? That's the ones, United Nations. We are in their headquarters. We are at Fort Clayton, former Fort Clayton in Panama City, Panama. And this is now the Ciudad del Saber, the city of knowledge. This has been taken over by our enemies after Carter gave it away, gave our Panama Canal away, which is just right over there. There's the Panama Canal, that's the Miraflores Locks. So our enemies have literally taken over our former headquarters. And so these are the guys. President Trump declared, he's now the president, he declared a state of emergency. These are the guys causing the emergency, straight up. This is their office. They also have an office in New York. They have an office in Tokyo. They have at least two in Bangkok. They're all over the world. They also have a major office in Manila in the Philippines. Their main office, their global office, is in Switzerland. Masako Ganaha, who is holding the camera, has been to that office. They are all over the world. These are the guys invading Canada, United States, Mexico, Panama, Japan. These are the ones. State of emergency. We have now a reason to defund these people and start investigating and putting them in prison.
Defund the United Nations. It's time. So what we're really watching here is the restoration of national sovereignty in real time. But here's the question nobody seems to be asking. If enforcing our immigration laws is somehow extreme, what does it say about the people who've been deliberately not enforcing them? And more importantly, what were they hoping to achieve? Think about that and share your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you stand on these nationwide ICE operations? And while we're talking about standing strong, show your support with our exclusive Mag Avengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Let everyone know you stand for law and order.